What's up, gentlemen? So before we get into today's topic and video, which is 5 reasons why you should never ever call yourself broke, I'm going to show you my side lot, right? The gardens. And I thought about it. I figured out what my retirement plan is going to be. With these new gardens that are epically awesome, I'm going to set up a little vegetable stand, sell fresh cut flowers, some vegetables that I grow. Right up here on the top, there's going to be like a parking pad. I think this is the perfect opportunity and perfect side hustle for a retired alpha. What do you think? Anyway, the deal is I want to show you everything that's happening. We poured concrete, the filters are in, and we are about to start backfilling this sexy beast. And then we're going to be cladding it with lime. Whoa, shit. I'm going to break my ankle. We're going to be wrapping or covering all of these walls with limestone, which I'm going to show you in a second. And then we're putting the greenhouse here. The greenhouse is going to look something like that. What do you think? Sexy, right? Definitely sexy. And then next level. The other day I was like, how do I take this to the next level? Well, the answer is a fountain, right? I thought to myself, what would make this garden area more tranquil? What would make it more sexy? Sexy is the operative word. Is a fountain, a little French fountain. I'm actually going to center it down. See those steps coming down? Boom, the 2 tiers. We're going to center it right here so that when you're looking down through those steps or down through the tiers or the tiered gardens, you're going to see a little fountain. All right, the fountain's going to be like a little French fountain. This is the one that I bought, right? Pretty cool, pretty sexy. And then it's also going to be centered on the door with the greenhouse. These are the footers, so we're going to have to bring in a ton of dirt to bring everything up to grade. But then all of the garden boxes, all of the walls are going to be made out of, or I should say wrapped with limestone. And I'm sorry, we're watering right now apparently. That's not working. And then the steps and then all of the tops or the caps on the garden boxes are going to be this Texas this is Indiana limestone. But as you can see right here, this is all the limestone. We actually did, we cut it so that it would be a little bit easier to apply to the face of the walls, right? Look at that. They just cut it, little angle piece for the corners, and then we're gonna do that whole thing. But look at that, look at that. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so amazing. Something else that amazed me in the last video was you guys were like, when I asked like, hey, how much do you think it cost me to build like this dream house? Some of you guys don't understand how money works. Some of you were like, it's $1 million. Really? Really? Okay. That house right there, that house was $2 million. I just sold it. That house right there, more than $2 million. But that brings me to the point, and that is why you should never, ever, ever say you're broke. So everybody at some point in their life is probably broke, or you don't have much money. But being broke, it is a temporary situation. You're gonna do what you need to do in order to figure it out and not be broke. But when you actually admit to people that you may be broke or that you just don't have any money, it basically puts you automatically in a position of weakness. The first reason why you should never say you're broke is that it damages your self-identity. When you actually proclaim or say, hey, I'm broke, it diminishes your self-worth. It also makes you subconsciously not feel as valuable as other people. And the truth is you are as valuable as everybody else, but right now you're going through a financial situation. The situation will improve if you improve it. Number 2, it kills your potential opportunity. All right, whether or not it's professionally, romantically, people don't invest in people that say or proclaim that they're broke because it diminishes, once again, your value. It also makes you seem a bit unstable and not worth taking time to invest further in. Desperate. It also makes you seem a little bit desperate, if I'm being honest. And one of the other things that happens is when you say you're broke or you're poor or you don't have any money, and you're actually saying it out loud to somebody else, like what is the motivation by doing that? All right. For me, whenever I hear somebody say that, it makes me feel like they're asking for a handout or like they want me to give them something that they don't actually deserve or they didn't work for. Number 3, it programs a scarcity mindset. When you say that you're broke, you're not just describing your bank account. You're basically telling your brain that you're operating from a state of fear, limitation. And this is something that when said enough, your brain is actually going to believe it. You're going to start to actually think of yourself as that broke individual, and you're going to think that you can't ever accomplish that thing that you were wanting to do, or you're never going to get out of this situation. You know, one of the things that holds people back when they grow up in poverty is basically the fact that they get comfortable feeling the way that they feel. They're comfortable being in that position because basically everybody around them is broke. Everybody around them doesn't have. Everybody does operate from a scarcity mindset. But if you get uncomfortable and you're uncomfortable being in this situation, you can break free of it. But you've got to train your brain to understand that you can do it. There is more out there and you can grab it. Which brings me to the fourth reason. It repels wealth. Literally, by you saying it, by you proclaiming it, it basically sets yourself up to never be able to look at those opportunities and achieve the things that you could potentially achieve, right? It's the same reason why people stay stuck, they stay down, they stay out. All right, I don't want you ever to feel like you can't achieve something. I don't want you to ever look at your current situation and think it's never going to get better. You know, for me, one of the things that I was ultra aware of when I was growing up was the fact that we had less than most people, and I was always really embarrassed about it. But I would never say it out loud. I would never own the fact that, yeah, we're poor. I wouldn't do that. I didn't want anybody looking at me that way. I didn't want anybody pitying me. I didn't want anybody looking at me like I was worthless or worth less than them, which brings me to the last reason, and the biggest reason in my opinion. When you say that you're broke, people perceive you that way. It shapes your identity. People don't want to be around broke people because it's negative, right? It's depressing. All right, we want to be around people that are uplifting, optimistic, that have achieved things or that are going to achieve things. And like I said at the beginning of this video, you are in a temporary situation. This is not who you are. When you claim or say that you're broke, you are defining who you are to everybody else. People hear you. And the other reality is that when people hear you say this, they don't want to really invest. They don't want to be around you because, once again, it makes them feel bad. It makes you look like you're saying you're a victim of whatever, your circumstances or life. And either way, it's a buzzkill, honestly. And it's not something I ever want you to say or ever have come out of your mouth. You are powerful. You are amazing. You might not have a lot of money right now, but you're getting there. You're going to do the things you need to do in order to achieve your goals. Being broke is a mindset. Don't do it.